Jesus Freak here. I take it this answers someone's recent question. Anyway, this was my other Ollie's find yesterday. The King James Version Know the Word Study Bible. Now I'm just looking through this the first time. The book introductions are, well, for what its purposes, I guess they don't have to worry about, who wrote what. So they don't discuss that. So it doesn't run into the issue of, oh, did Moses write it or not? There's a lot of short articles. There's a sort of chain study system. And rather interesting for what this is. This is like one of the last pre-2K editions, but it's still very, you know, easy on the eyes. Bold. Almost 2K like font. It seems that the notes are less they're more like, they try to put more detail into the word. And I guess that's useful for newer Christians. It seems to be pushing the same traditional Trinitarian understanding that I have. People tend to get hung up on the word Trinity, and maybe triunity is a better way to say it. Trinity emphasizes the threeness of God and kind of loses the oneness. And the fact is, he's three and one at the same time. You know, triunity is probably a better way to say it. there's a lot of they seem to go a bit into the linguistic style of Hebrew. There is some a bit, wishy-washiness about authorship. That they kind of question the the Solomonic authorship of Ecclesiastes. So it is a little bit on the liberal side in that perspective. It takes the dual approach of interpretation for Isaiah 14, the literal approach and the traditional approach. There's a short section on the intertestamental period. It's red letter. Most Bibles these days are red letter, I think. I'm not a fan of red letter because it gives undue emphasis to some words over others. You'll find so called red letter Christians that tend to ignore the black letters. They focus on the red letters and they ignore the rest. And, that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not what the red letters are for. That's why I don't buy into the idea of red letters, and I don't think the Bible should be printed with red letter. They should be strictly black letter because all the words of Scripture are of equal validity and equal weight. Some are not more important than others, or more relevant than others in this sense. They don't seem to have any sort of a note for Romans 8:29 and 30, which could be a bit of a problem for some people. As though those are sort of important verses. There's no aspersions cast on the Comma Johannium. That could be a problem for some people if they did have them. So it's safer not to have them. I mean, I've made it clear what I think of the Comma Johannium, and it's, you know, different than what most people who use the KJV would say, but I don't have a problem with the text per se. After Revelation, there's a table of monies, weights, and measures. and then a concordance, which is, it's a good concordance. It's not a comprehensive one like Oxford or Cambridge would have, but it's a good concordance. And this is recent enough that it's got the Zondervan maps in the back on typical glossy paper, and then just off to the back. So it's a bit wishy-washy, but it's a decent starter study Bible, I guess. My cat hasn't been peeking out from back behind the screen on the couch there. But she's back there. I think she's probably crashed out now. Jesus freak out.